Hi FlossTube, welcome back. This is Robin. Welcome to my channel, Lady Robins, both here and on Instagram. In case you've never been here before, I welcome you. This is a channel about cross stitch. I'm going to talk about what I've stitched over the last week. I am thrilled to have you here. I see by my numbers I've picked up some new subscribers, so thank you for coming over to my channel and seeing what I'm up to. I am thrilled you're here. And for my returning subscribers, welcome back again. Thank you for sticking around and putting up with me. I am thrilled to be here with all of you. So, before we get going, mug of the week, right? All right, it is probably about 2:30 in the afternoon. It is the 1st of September. So I do not have coffee in here. I think this is probably the 4th one in a row where I haven't had coffee, which is kind of weird, right? Got to get back to morning floss tubes. But our mug of the week is California. This mug I like a lot. I said that about all of them, but this one I really like because of the beautiful tall redwoods. We took a vacation, a driving vacation a couple years ago, and we drove through the redwoods, and that was just such a fun trip. And when I see this mug, it reminds me of those trip memories. And if you were here last week, I told you that I was going to be doing a staycation here. We have staycation. Today is my last day of not going to work. Tomorrow I'm back at it. And we did a couple of fun things. We took a ferry over to Vashon Island. There is a lighthouse that we can see from the Des Moines Marina. Des Moines. You decide if you're an S or a not S person. I'm not S. I have never put the S on Des Moines here in our area. I am told that that is incorrect. The Des Moines City Council actually had to declare one year, and I think if you read their declaration, they say no S, but everybody else says an S. Doesn't matter. Anyway, from the Des Moines Marina, where we used to have a sailboat moored, you can see a lighthouse over on Vashon Island. I think technically it's on Maury Island. Doesn't matter. I decided we should take the ferry over and visit the lighthouse in person. So that was one of the things we did on staycation, is we went and we were on water, which is fine by me. We all know I love boats and water. So we got to see the lighthouse. And if I remember, make myself a mental note here, probably won't last very long. I will insert a couple of pictures of us on the island and looking at the lighthouse. And then the day after that, we went the other direction and we drove to Mount Rainier, and we drove as far as you can go up on the mountain, and we went up to Sunrise, and we had a little picnic up at Sunrise. We found a fairly straight little trail to hike on. I'm not a billy goat, so I was not going on any of those steep trails that go up and up and up. I liked it flat. And we found a perfect trail for doing that. So we had a couple of really fun things that we did, and then we did go, of course, out to the cabin, and that was our staycation. The rest of the time, we hung around in the area. My husband is building a sailboat in our garage, so he had 3 days of working on the boat, which was perfect, and one of the days when he was working on the boat, I went and grabbed plums off my neighbor's plum tree and I made plum jam. So if I remember, I will insert a picture of my plum jam. If you follow me on Instagram, though, you've already seen it because I proudly posted my 6 half pints of jam. It took me 3 hours to make jam. I'm like, I could have bought it in less time. But it was fun to use fruit that I've been watching grow right out that window. I can see my neighbor's plum tree, and there's plenty out there still, so I might make a couple more batches. So that's what I got up to this week. And of course, there was cross stitch. So let me show you what I stitched on this week, and I did have a finish, so I'm excited to show you my finish. All right, so let's have a little beverage. Sit back, you guys, relax. We'll just have a little chat and we'll visit, all right? If you're doing anything fun this summer that you'd like to share with me, leave me a comment down below. Did you have a staycation? Did you do something around your area? I'd love to hear what kind of vacation plans you got up to, or maybe you didn't. Maybe you just hung out. You're still doing the same thing you've been doing for weeks. I just love to know what y'all are up to. Okay, let's have a beverage. Did I tell you what my beverage is? Fresca with raspberry syrup. Nothing better. Nothing better for a cold beverage. All right, let me put this down so I don't spill it on cross stitch, right? I can't have that going on. Okay, I stitched. I'm consulting my planner to see what my August recap was. I'm pretty happy with what I got up to last week. I was able to stitch on I stitched on 4 things. And the thing I spent the most time on was plant kindness, and it's finished. So let me dig that out for you. So here is our chart by Little House Needleworks, Plant Kindness, and here is my finish. I even ironed it for you. Yeah, I know, right? There she is. Plant Kindness is all ready. And I did have somebody ask me on Instagram what I plan on doing with it. I'm going to frame it. Absolutely going to put that in a frame. And going to get that up on a wall. I don't know which wall. Maybe there. Who knows? But I definitely think this is frame worthy. So here is our finish. And what I thought was interesting, I started thinking about it, that, you know, there's really only 3 months left in 2020 because today is the 1st of September. So I started thinking, how many things have I finished this year? I always think I don't finish that many things. So I sat down and I wrote it all out. You guys, I have had 13 finishes this year. I can't believe it. I was shocked that I had that many finishes. And I have 14 FFOs. That's what happens when you do the laundry series. You get 3 FFOs like that. Remember that way at the beginning of the year? But I was thinking it would be it'd be fun to kind of gather them all up and do an FFO parade. So I might do that on next FlossTube. Let me know if that's of any interest. I thought it was interesting that I had that many finishes because I always think I have 1 or 2. And last month, I FFO'd fully finished objects, right? I FFO'd 4 things. Amazing. You just never know what's going to happen when you make peace with stitchery tape, right? Okay, so that is my finish. and I'm pretty doggone proud of it. And it's adorable. All right, so that's the first thing I stitched on. The second thing I stitched on, and I didn't get, let's see here, I didn't get as far as I thought I was going to. I worked on the Frankenstein border, and I did not get it finished because, you know, there were ferries to be on, and there was a mountain to go drive up, so I did not get it finished, which is kind of a shame because on Saturday, the first part of the Stitching Book Club Frankenstein SAL dropped. That is part 1. Isn't that pretty? So I need to get my stitch and tail in gear and get caught up. I am already behind on Frankenstein. I haven't started, I haven't finished the border, and I haven't started any of the new stuff. So Stitching Book Club, I'm behind already. And speaking of being behind, I finally found a nice hardcover, kind of a faux leather edition of Frankenstein through eBay. I asked somebody on Instagram, you know, where'd they get that beautiful leather covered book, and they said, hey, go look at eBay, and oh, they had all sorts of them. So I'm waiting for my book to show up, and I need to get going. So not much progress there, but big plans. I'm definitely going to put that on the top of my gotta stitch on it this week pile. Okay, so that was the second thing I worked on. The next thing I worked on, and I haven't worked on this in probably 3 weeks, so I was really happy with the progress I made on Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. So that guy. And I'm stitching this on a 40 count linen. I always forget to tell you what linen I put it on, but I do put that stuff all in the show notes. So if you're curious what count fabric, what color it is, it's in the show notes. I just forget. I get excited about telling you what I've been up to, and so I forget to give you the details. So here is what I got going on Land That I Love. Now, apparently I'm not very observant because I got this A done, right? And then I'm like, oh, okay, so, and I'm gonna, you know, go across and do the rest of the alphabet. I'm gonna take this out. It'll be a little noisy. Sorry. Okay. So, and I noticed that the A is stitched in dolphin, and I thought, well, maybe they're gonna alternate, you know, dolphin, and then this B is gonna be, oh, what is that? Doesn't matter. Anyway, whatever the red color is, right? And so I thought, well, maybe they're gonna alternate back and forth. And I was looking at the chart, and I'm like, nope. Everything is stitched in red until you get to S. And I thought, that's weird. And then I'm like, oh, duh. The next one that's stitched in the light dolphin is the U. It's USA. I didn't pick that out until I started looking at the chart. I'm like, oh, for Pete's sake. You think I would have clued in on this, being how it's Land That I Love. Because I had thought, as I was looking at it, I know a lot of times people in the alphabet, they will stitch their initials in a different color. And I thought, oh, maybe I should do that. Maybe, you know, one of the other colors in this beautiful chart, I could use, and I could stitch my initials, you know, Robin Schultz, RS. And so then when I started looking at the S, I'm like, oh, it's in that same color that the A's in. Well, so now I can't decide if I'm going to leave the USA, which is very, very clever, or if I'm going to restitch the A in red and maybe just do my initials RS in that light dolphin color. Can't decide. I have plenty of time to make different choices if I'm not going to stitch it exactly the way the chart calls for it, the way that Teresa Kogut charted it. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm kind of hung up on the idea of stitching my initials in the alphabet in a different color. So that A might get frogged and redone in the red so that just my initials are in that other color. Anyway, decisions that can be made at a later time, right? But I think that might be kind of cute. Okay, so that was Land That I Love. That was the third thing that I stitched on. And the fourth item that I stitched on is one that has been languishing in this beautiful project bag that the Kindred Stitcher, Lisa Smith, made. And that is Playing with Jacks by the Cricut Collection. And I have got to get my stitchy mojo going on this one, because that's a beautiful chart, and I would love, love, love to get that thing up for October. But that means I really got to concentrate it. All right, so here is where I am on Playing with Jacks. Now, I know why this one is hanging out in the project bag. I had started working this kind of tall pumpkin here, and way up here, I duplicated a row. I didn't realize it until I was like down here when things started not matching up, and I decided, that's okay. I can fudge it. It'll be fine. I cannot wait till I get this pumpkin done and I can be done with the fudging, because it is driving me bonkers. I wish I could go back in time and say, hey, Robin, you're going to drive yourself nuts. Frog it, man. Frog it. Because I am right here, and there's 2 rows that I need to fill in there, but because of my mistake, it should have only been 1. And I got to make something up that'll look okay in that section, which I think I can do. It's, you know, it's annoying that I have to do it, but I can do it. It'll be fine. But it is annoying. So that's another one that I really want to get some good progress on, done on it in September. Yep. So this is going to be another one that's going to be on the top of my whip pile for September. All right, that's what I got stitched on. It wasn't as much as weeks before. I have found out that I cannot stitch in the car. I just can't. I am in awe of all of you folks that can sit there and stitch in the car. I couldn't do it. Part of the problem was, especially when we were driving up the mountain, you know, you go in and out of the shadows, and so I'm looking down and my light is coming and going and coming and going and coming and going. Oh my gosh. Nope, not for me. Can't do it. So I did not get as much good stitching time as I thought I would, but that's okay. This week is back to normal, so I'll have more stitching time. I did some stash acquisition this week, and I'm pretty excited about, especially one of my purchases. I have, where did I put it? Is that it? Nope. Hold please. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, here is a piece that has been hanging on my desk forever. This is by Shepherd's Bush. This is Spooky Notes. I love these. anyway, there's a whole bunch of them. There's a Christmas one. I think there's a Thanksgiving one. I know there's a Valentine's Day one. There's a leprechaun for St. Patrick's Day, I think. Anyway, there's 5 or 6 of them, and I love a good series. So anyway, I finished this last year, and when you look at the chart, it is finished with the cutest frame ever. And my girlfriend Lynn, she finished it last year also, but she contacted Shepherd's Bush and ordered the frame. All right, I have been holding off, and I finally broke down last week, and I ordered the frame from Shepherd's Bush. So it's, I don't know if you can see that very well, it's got, you know, skulls and crossbones. It's just as cute can be. So I have got the frame. I have got a finished piece. I'm going to put them together. This thing will be up and ready for Halloween, for October. I just can hardly wait to get that put together. So that was one of my purchases that I made. I probably phoned in the order maybe 2 weeks ago, and it showed up quick. I had really good communication from Shepherd's Bush. I sent them an email, told them what I was after. The gal contacted me by phone to get my my payment information, and she thought she had one on the shelf. She sent me an email a couple days later, said, "Oh my gosh, I went into the shop. I don't have one. I've contacted my framer. She's going to get one, you know, put together and sent it to you right away." I'm like, I barely had time to respond. You know, no problem. I just, you know, I'm hoping to get it up by October. Don't panic. Then I got an email. It was on its way. So anyway, if you do any of the notes by Shepherd's Bush, don't forget that they have frames. I'm not a rep for Shepherd's Bush, okay? This is starting to sound like an infomercial, but I'm just really tickled with how well that's gonna fit together. So this is plans for an FFO over the next few weeks when I get some time to do that. All right, the other thing that I did this week, yesterday I contacted Erin, the 2 Martini Stitcher. We live about 35 minutes apart from each other, and said, hey, I need absolutely nothing cross stitch related. You want to go to Threadneedle Street in Issaquah and look at all their patterns? So we did. So I have a little stash acquisition. I absolutely love Prairie Schoolers. So I picked up 2 Prairie Schoolers. I picked up the 2020 Santa. I think that's adorable. And then I picked up this one, which is kind of a Halloween one. The, what do they call it? Night Flight. So I picked up those 2 Prairie Schoolers, and I have seen this a number of times, this Blackbird Design Cats on Parade, and I must be in a Halloween mood because I just couldn't leave it behind. Cats on Parade. I'm not going to start it this year. I'm going to hold off. I'll wait till next year, but I have it. So that was the other thing that the other chart that I purchased. And then the lovely Denise, who owns Threadneedle Street, I had contacted her a couple weeks ago and said, hey, when the Just Cross Stitch Christmas ornament issue comes out, would you set one aside for me? So I have the Christmas ornament issue. So when I was up at Threadneedle Street with Erin, we got to talking about how so often I buy these magazines and I never stitch anything out of the magazine. So we've got an idea of doing a SAL together, and we'll need to flesh out the details, but basically it's going to be, you know, grab a magazine and stitch something out of it, you know, do a magazine piece with us. More details to come as Erin and I figure that out together, but know that we're thinking about a SAL here, and, you know, do an ornament. Anyway, like I said, Erin and I need to talk about it a little bit more, but we'll give you more details when we figure them out, which will be fun. All right, so if you were looking for the Christmas ornament issue, it is available. If you don't have an LNS, contact Denise at Threadneedle Street in Issaquah, Washington. I will put her contact information in my show notes so you can get it from her. I'm sure that Acorns and Threads in Portland has it by now, so those are my 2 LNSs, so between the two of them, I'm sure you can get a copy of this. Okay, now, the other thing that I purchased when I was up there, I just picked some fabric just because I'm kind of getting to be a fabric hoarder. And they had Picture This Plus Wren available, and I can't tell you how many times somebody will be talking about, oh, and I'm stitching this on, you know, yada, 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 count, Picture This Plus in the colorway Wren. And I'm like, Wren, I've got to have it, it's there. And it was in 32 count, which is one of my faves, so I picked that up. And then the other thing I picked up is another packet of vintage country mocha linen, which is another one of my favorites. So I picked those up. And then I really want to start a little red sampler. So Denise had from Sampler Threads, Schoolhouse Red. So I picked up 2 Schoolhouse Reds, so I can find a little red sampler to start. That's been kind of driving me crazy. And I picked up 2 of these. This is Uniform Blue. This has been out of stock for quite a while. So if you need it, Denise has got it for you. And then another one that has been out of stock for a year, an entire year, Walnut. Walnut. This thread is in Cinnamon Stars, which is another whip that I have, work in progress. And I don't think I've gotten to the point where I'm doing the part where Walnut is called for, but I did just pull the DMC, so I mean I've got a thread, but I'm like, whoa, if I can find the fancy floss. I picked up a walnut. So if you are looking for it, again, Denise at Threadneedle Street, she can get you all put together with that. Okay, so my plans for September. I've been trying to figure it out. A lot of people are doing Sampler September. I think if I do anything sampler-wise, I'm going to start the Huckleberry Farm sampler. I have it kitted. I've got the fabric. It's been languishing back there on that little bookcase. I might give myself a start in September for Sampler September. It'd be my only sampler start. But what I really want to do is I want to finish Autumn Alphabet by, I think that's by the Scarlet House. I've got that going. Did I pull that? I might have pulled it. Did I? Oh, yep, hold on. I put them down here. That's why I can't find my plans. Okay, yes. Okay, so these are items that I want to stitch in September. So I want to finish Autumn Alphabet in September, and I think it's totally doable. I just have to finish up the alphabet. So that is one of my plans for September. Also, I want to get some good progress on fresh picked pumpkins. And I showed that to you last week. this guy by Barbie Petal Pusher. And this stitches up just really quick because there's big blocks of color. So that is where I'm starting on that one. So Autumn Alphabet, fresh picked pumpkins. I'm going to keep working on Playing with Jacks, and of course Cinnamon Stars. And I did not work on that last week, but that's okay. I'm going to get that guy back out. So this is where I am on Cinnamon Stars. And then, of course, the Frankenstein SAL. I have lots of good stitching ahead of me in September. And then the last thing, this has not seen the light of day in forever. You're going to be like, oh yeah, we forgot you were stitching on that. The Year of Blackwork SAL. Remember that, you guys? This is a freebie from Peppermint Purple. I have only got 2 rows done on this thing. So I want to get myself back into the Blackwork SAL. So those are my stitchy plans. I don't have any plans for any more stash acquisition at the moment, but you know, something should change without advance notice, right? But I don't have anything on, I don't have anything that's driving me crazy right now, so I think my budget is going to be looking pretty good for September. I have tons of great stitching ahead of me. I am just going to continue with what I started in August, which was work on fall pieces, get things finished up, get them, you know, fully finished, framed, or turned into pillows, or whatever I'm going to do with them. I think most of the pieces that I've got here, I think they're going to be framed. They will be decor pieces that will probably go up at the end of September, stay up through Halloween, and then probably come down when Thanksgiving stuff turns up. So that's what I'm planning on. I looked at my 24 hours of cross stitch. That's hard to say. The prompt this month is 1,440 minutes, which equals 24 hours, which I thought was very clever. Anyway, I have not figured out how these pieces are going to fit into that acrostic. I might just ignore it this time because I kind of know what I'm going to stitch on. It might not get filled out this time, but that's okay. What I do like is writing down and keeping track of what I stitched on, because that's helpful for me to remember, you know, what did I do 7 days ago? All right, you guys, that's it. That's all I've got for you. I am gonna try to upload this today, get it out on YouTube so you can have a FlossTube to look at. I'll try to insert those pictures of our little staycation, and I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I hope the stitchy gods are kind to you and you have lots of time to stitch. All right, that's it for me. Thank you for stopping in. Leave me a comment about what your September plans are. I know a lot of people are talking about Sampler September. That's not going to be my focus, as I've already told you, but what's your focus? I would love to know what you're stitching. So leave me a comment. I will check in with you next week. And as I like to say, stitch happy, my friends. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.